So, we are going to start with the first module in financial accounting. So, the first module in financial accounting starts with introduction to single entry system of accounting. So, in this particular session, we will be dealing with the theory part all about what single entry is all about, how it is different from double entry system, what are the different features, objectives, merits and demerits of single entry system. Besides this, we must also know the reasons, the real reason behind the incompleteness of the records in single entry system. We must know the differences between balance sheet and the statement of affairs method too. So this will be the agenda for today. Are you ready? Come, let's move. The first thing is introduction to single entry system. It is an incomplete system of maintaining the books of accounts of a trader without following the double entry system of accounting. It means that you all will be knowing that accountant prepares the books of accounts. He keeps in touch with the bookkeeper who takes care of the journals and ledgers. Further, we have the accountant. Then we have the auditor. So what happens is that in the accounting system, if you find that there is an incompletion in the system of bookkeeping of accounts by the trader, then it is known as single entry system. To make it much more better understandable, we can say it does not follow the system of double entry system. It is a system of bookkeeping where the rule is only one thing, that the cash and the personal accounts are only maintained here. So two things we understood. One, it is incomplete record of accounts. Second, it does not follow the double entry system. And third, here only the cash and personal account records are maintained. The reasons for incompleteness of the books under the single entry system are ignorance of statutory requirements. System is economical. Sometimes it might be very cheap, but very less number of books are maintained here. Lack of knowledge of accounting principles. Transactions undertaken are very less. Why? Due to which only we can find the number of books are also maintained very less. Concealment of income leading to tax evasions. So these are the different reasons we can find why there is incompleteness in the records of single entry system. The third thing we are going to deal is all about objectives of single entry system, one of the important questions for examination. It helps to record the business transactions. So when single entry system is maintained, it will be very easy for recording the business transactions. Why? Because the number of transactions would be very less. Secondly, it would help in the preparation of trial balance, which will help in determining the arithmetical accuracy of accounts. Third, it helps in opening the accounts and obtaining the balances of accounts, ascertaining the profit and loss of the business, ascertaining the financial position of the business. See, the difference here is that normally in the double entry system, we prepare balance sheet to understand the financial position of the business. But in case of single entry system, we prepare statement of affairs. So we will be learning the difference between both in the coming slides. Then provide a less costly system. No external help will be there, only by the internal persons, only the things will be undertaken. Provide an easy system of accounting, and finally helps in the easy calculation of the profit too. Next is features of single entry system. If you ask me about what is single entry system, as I told you, it's incompleteness of the records of accounts. And why? That's what we saw in the previous slide. Then comes, it does not follow the double entry system of accounts. And the third thing we learned is it deals with only the cash and the personal account details. Similarly, we have another features like it's unscientific, unsystematic record here maintained. There is no trial balance here actually, but in the form of trial balance we are preparing the another statement of accounts, statement of profit and loss, or whatever we call it. It's not suitable for companies, not for the large companies, but for small companies only. There is difficulty in preparation of the financial statements too, because as we get the freedom how we prepare in the balance sheet, the same freedom you don't get it here while preparing the statement of affairs. True profits cannot be ascertained. Location of errors, we can easily locate the errors and mistakes and all. There are different chances for frauds too. Intentional mistakes can happen leading to frauds. Though we can find there is more flexibility, the financial position cannot be easily ascertained. Please remember that. Next is the merits of single entry system. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, single entry system has two bound necks. One is the merit and the other one is demerit. If you look into the merits of single entry system, according to the nature of the system of accounting, it is very simple, economical, no strict rules and standards are followed here. It's suitable for small concerns only, that is the one demerit, but it's used for the small concerns, so it is less expensive or economical. Concealment of income happens here, leading to tax evasion system. Limited knowledge only in accounting, that is one demerit also. Highly flexible, easy ascertainment of profits and losses, and it's also possible to record transactions very quickly. Why? Because the transactions are very less. Demerits of single entry system. It's unscientific. As a feature we have learned, it's unscientific, it's incomplete and unsystematic. So obviously you cannot find the accuracy of accounts happening here. So it would be very difficult to prepare the statement of profit and loss account, or it can be very difficult to ascertain the financial position of the business too. Why? Because the records are incomplete and not standardized. It's not legally accepted because of these reasons: unscientificness or unsystematicness or incompleteness. Errors are not that easily located. No trial balance can be done here. Financial statements are also not prepared here. Division of accounting work is not possible. Difficulty is also there in settling the financial claims. It's not accepted by the IT authorities, income tax authorities. Why? Because the accounts you get is not proper, it's incomplete. So how can the tax authorities rely on this document? It's difficult to obtain the bank loans, encouraging frauds and misappropriations too. No control by the office members, and neither there is any check on honesty of the employees. So obviously this leads to misappropriation of accounts, embezzlement of cash and fraudulent practices. And finally, amount receivables and the payables, whatever you get, they are not easily ascertained here. So these are the different objectives, features, merits and demerits of single entry system. Very, very important question. Next, we'll be going to the differences between single entry system and double entry system. So very important, one of the important question. So if you compare this, the incomplete records or single entry system and double entry system. First of all, based on meaning, single entry system is incomplete, unscientific and unsystematic. In case of double entry, it's more scientific and systematic. There are dual aspects here. If you see the dual aspect, the debit and credit or whatever you say, single entry system does not record any dual aspects. But in case of double entry, the name double means two. That is why dual aspects, two aspects are taken here simultaneously. That's why we call it as double accounts, double entry system. Trial balance cannot be prepared in case of single entry, but trial balance can be easily prepared in double entry. Why? Because we have the debit and credit columns happening there. Checking of accuracy, it cannot happen. Arithmetical accuracy cannot be ascertained here since the trial balance is not prepared in single entry. But in case of double entry, since the trial balance is prepared, arithmetical accuracy of accounts can be ascertained. Net profit, if you ask me, the single entry system, profit is only an estimate. But in case of the double entry, net profit ascertained is the final and actual. Financial position, if you find, it cannot be prepared. See here, financial position cannot be ascertained. Why? Because balance sheet is not prepared here, only statement of affairs is prepared. So the reliability and accuracy, the genuineness of the accounts wouldn't be possible. But in case of the double entry system, it's just vice versa. Balance sheet is prepared here, so it's very easy to ascertain the financial position. In case of single entry system, this system is suitable for all the traders having very few transactions. So it is used only for the small concerns. But in case of double entry, it is used for the large concerns. For all types of business transactions, you can use it, be it small, medium, or for the large concerns. Acceptability rate, if you find, the single entry system is not much acceptable to the tax authorities. But tax authorities, they rely more upon, they accept the double entry system since it is more accurate, more scientific, and more systematic compared to single entry. And the last one, cost. Even though the cost is very effective or it's economical, the single entry system is very cheap, it's not that reliable. But double entry system, it is reliable, and more the reliability of the double entry system, more costly it is. Why? Because maintenance of books of accounts is very huge. So now we are going to learn something about the next concept is statement of affairs, substituting the term balance sheet in double entry. We don't use the term balance sheet in single entry, but we use the term, substituting the balance sheet as a term, we use a statement of affairs in single entry. So what is statement of affairs? It's a statement of assets and liabilities prepared on any date in order to find out the capital. The opening or the closing, whatever, when we do the problems, you'll be able to understand it much better. It's prepared by those concerns keeping the books under incomplete system, prepared in the form of balance sheet, but it's not same. Both statement of affairs and balance sheet are not same, but it is prepared in the form of balance sheet, only the similarity is there, but both are not same. Why? That we will be learning in the next slide. The main purpose of statement of affairs is that it is not to show the financial position of the business, but to ascertain to capital. And which is the formula adopted here? You must have learned the accounting equation formula. Similarly, the same formula is applied here. Capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So we'll be learning about this with an example in the next slide. So look at this example. A question is given here. This can come for exam too. So be careful. Cash and bank balance rupees 15,000, debtors rupees 20,000, stock in trade rupees 30,000, furniture rupees 15,000, sundry creditors rupees 30,000. This is something given in the question. You are asked to find out the capital. So how do you find the capital? We know the formula is capital is equal to total assets minus total liabilities. Now, in order to find what is total assets here, we have to identify which are the assets given in the question. Cash and bank balance is an asset item. Debtors, asset item. Stock, asset item. Furniture, asset item. Creditors, sundry creditors is liability item. So total liabilities would be assumed as, since we don't have any other items, we have to take sundry creditors is similar to total liabilities, rupees 30,000. Keep it aside. Total asset would be cash and bank balance 15,000 plus, debtors 20,000 plus, stock in trade 30,000 plus, furniture 15,000. You would get 80,000 rupees as the total asset. Now, what is the formula? Capital, be it opening or closing, whatever, is equal to total asset minus total liability. What is total asset? 80,000 minus 30,000. In total, you would be getting rupees 50,000 is the capital. So this is what the method we are adopting in case of statement of affairs. I hope it is very clear. In this last slide, we are going to learn about the differences between balance sheet and a statement of affairs. I told you balance sheet is a term which is used in double entry system, and the term is being substituted with statement of affairs in the single entry system, but both are not same. So here, differentiate between both balance sheet and the statement of affairs. First of all, let us take in the base of meaning. Balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities which is prepared in order to show the financial position. Statement of affairs, it's a statement of assets and liabilities prepared in order to find out the capital on any date. That is, be it the opening date or the closing date. The purpose behind the preparation of the balance sheet is to identify or determine the financial position of the concern. The purpose behind the preparation of statement of affairs is to find out the capital on any date. Basis of information. The balance sheet is prepared based on the information provided from the books which are maintained under the double entry system. But in case of statement of affairs, it is prepared based on the information which is available from incomplete records of accounts. Value of assets and liabilities. In the balance sheet, they are based on the ledger balances. But in case of the statement of affairs, what happens? The value of liabilities and assets they are based on the estimates. The omission of items, if you find. In case of balance sheet, omission of assets and liabilities can easily be found whenever the balance sheet disagrees, because it doesn't get tallied. If it doesn't get tallied, we can find there is something omission happening. But in case of statement of affairs, it's not possible. It's very difficult to identify the omissions or deletions or whatever it is of assets and liabilities, since there is nothing required for the tallying or the balance sheet should get tallied. There is nothing like that. Time of preparation. Balance sheet is prepared after preparing the profit and loss account. But in case of the statement of affairs, it's prepared on any date in order to find out the capital. And finally, is it required? What is required more? Which is compulsory? As you all know, balance sheet preparation is very much mandatory, compulsory, without which the company cannot ascertain their financial position. But in case of statement of affairs, it's not that compulsory. If you need, only you need to prepare it. So these are the important things we have discussed. So in today's session, I hope everything is very clear for you. We have dealt about what is single entry system, what are its features, definition of that. Then we have seen the meaning of that, features, objectives, merits, demerits, differences between single entry and double entry, and differences between statement of affairs and balance sheet. Okay. So in the coming classes, we'll be learning about the problems on how to solve in different methods of calculation under single entry. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.